Hello and welcome back to another Doctor Who ratings analysis video. Now I think this one's going to be quite interesting. So we're going to be comparing Series 14, Series 1, Season 40, the 2024 series of Doctor Who to Series 11, which was Jodie Whittaker's first series as the Doctor. Now a lot of debate has been made about Series 11 and the decision to cast Jodie Whittaker as the first female Doctor. But let's see what the numbers had to say when it comes to our overnight and our +7 ratings, and let's see how they compare to Series 14 with Ncuti Gatwa. So here we go. We've already seen our Series 14 ratings, so our overnight and our +7s. Let's now have a look at what Series 11 managed to pull in. So for our overnight, we began with The Woman Who Fell to Earth, and that got an impressive 8.2 million viewers. Our initial interest in the season premiere starts a downward trend, as we see fairly consistently, but The Ghost Monument got 7.11 million, Rosa 6.39 million, Arachnids in the UK went up slightly to 6.43 million. Down again for Saranga Conundrum, 6.12 million. Demons of the Punjab, 5.77 million. Kablam with another slight increase to 5.93 million. The Witchfinders, 5.66 million. It Takes You Away, 5.07 million. And finally, The Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos, the series finale, at 5.32 million. So how did this translate into our +7 day figures? So The Woman Who Fell to Earth got just under 11 million viewers, quite an impressive number, and the highest the show had been for quite a while. The Ghost Monument, 7 days, got 9 million, 8.41 for Rosa, 8.22 for Arachnids in the UK, 7.76 for the Saranga Conundrum, 7.48 for Demons of the Punjab, 7.46 million. So you can see that with overnight increases in Kablam and Arachnids in the UK isn't translating into +7 day increases. That drop is still consistent for the Witchfinders, It Takes You Away, and finally we do get a little uplift in our +7 day numbers for the Battle of Ranskoor of Kolos to 6.65 million. So a graphic interpretation of this, we can see how we've got our peak at the very start, just under 11 million for The Woman Who Fell to Earth, and that general deterioration down and a slight uplift for our series finale. Now on the right hand side of this diagram you can see how the Ncuti Gatwa debut series is significantly lower than Jodie Whittaker's debut series. So in raw numbers, although there's a nicer average, should we say, for Series 14, the drop off is not as steep as we got from The Woman Who Fell to Earth to The Ghost Monument, etc. Even our +7 day ratings are lower than our overnight figures for all of Series 11. But how does that reflect in terms of overnight on its own? So we can see quite a drop between our lowest overnight for It Takes You Away in Series 11 compared to our highest 2.62 for 73 yards. So it's quite a difference between the two. Overnight share, though, was a bit more interesting. So obviously The Woman Who Fell to Earth got a big number, just over 40% of the available overnight audience, and then our plateau and our sort of leveling out between, you know, a high of 29.6% and a low of 25.1%, not too bad. And when you compare that to Series 14, we've got our highest is 25.7. Again, that's a peak at the series debut, but that's not maintained. And even though Space Baby's got an overnight audience share percentage slightly higher than It Takes You Away, everything is below Series 11 numbers for audience share, at least on the overnights. So 7 days, we'll look at those, and again similar trends. As I mentioned, Gradual downward trend from The Woman Who Fell to Earth all the way through to It Takes You Away. No slight uplifts here and there. All downward for series 11 in terms of our plus 7 days until we get to the series finale, so a slight uptick. And again, series 14 is more of a plateau, more of an average, more horizontal, and no dramatic drops, as we can see at the very outset of series 11. Again, our audience shares high for The Woman Who Falls to Earth and Space Babies, and gradually declining, but then with an uplift for our series finale episodes. Our 7-day chart positions, so those are particularly interesting reading for series 11 because The Woman Who Fell to Earth was top of the charts for the whole week. It was the most watched program on British television for the entire week, and that trend largely continued for The Ghost Monument, Rosa, and Arachnids in the UK. You know, top 5. Dropped slightly, 7th, 8th, and 9th for Saranga Conundrum, Demons of the Punjab, Kablam, and then really dropped off towards the end of the series, 17th, 23rd, and 18th. Again, our drop off is not quite as dramatic for series 14, with 10 being the highest. Again, series premiere, again, our highest chart rating. But our low is slightly lower. Dot and Bubble got 24th instead of 23rd for It Takes You Away, so slightly less steep drop off, and a bit more consistency for series 14 perhaps, but good numbers for series 11 in terms of our 7-day chart positions over 4 screens. So let's have a look at our averages. So for series 11, the overnight rating averaged at 6.2 million. Series 14, it's at 2.27 million. Our overnight share, 29.7% compared to 21.2%. So in both measurements for overnight, series 14 doing definitely worse than series 11 did. For our plus 7-day rating, 7.96 million compared to 3.71 million. So again, quite a drop off. Our share though isn't too bad, 33.4% compared to 27.4%. You know, about a 6% swing, not massive, but still lower for series 14 than it was for series 11. And our average chart position, series 11 was 10th overall, and series 14 16th. So again, in every one of our measurements, series 14 is underperforming when compared to Jodie Whittaker's first series. Now I will let people debate why that might be. That initial interest in the first female Doctor is borne out by these numbers. Unfortunately, that interest is no longer there for Ncuti Gatwa's first series, as those numbers demonstrate. Hopefully you enjoy that video. It's a nice, interesting comparison. Debut series for Jodie Whittaker, the first female Doctor. Debut series for Ncuti Gatwa, the first black Doctor. Regular Doctor, male Doctor, however you want to quantify it, because we've obviously had the Fugitive Doctor, brilliantly played. But yeah, interesting numbers, and my job in this channel is just to present those numbers and let you make your own interpretations. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, give it a like, feel free to share it, and if you want to catch the next video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. But for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.